Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Thursday. It's Friday Eve, Friday Junior, whatever you want to call it. It is Thursday. So we are on lesson number 3 of self-love. But just to start, for anybody that might be joining us for the first time during the self-love lessons, I've decided instead of the guidance cards, we're going to do the affirmators deck, the one that we started laying the foundation of self-love with. So this is going to get us almost all the way through all the lessons of self-love, but then we're going to have to reshuffle for the last 8 lessons. So I shuffled these. I have no idea what card's going to come up. Here we go. Oh, it's a bonus card. Wait and see. So just as kind of just to kind of explain these cards. These cards are it's the love and relationships deck, but the reason I'm using it again for just to reiterate is because I truly believe that even though they're talking more specifically about the majority of the cards about like partnership type relationships, like, you know, I really feel that this can be applied to self-love because again, we're in a relationship with ourselves 24/7, 365, 66, every day, every single day. And the one relationship we need to make sure we maintain and keep strong and healthy so that we can have, improved relationships with the people around us is the one that we, have ourselves with ourselves. So here's the card. Wait and see. Thoughts love to wander into assumptions and race ahead to the future. But what if you told them to cool their jets and chill a sec? Today you get to put your mental chatter on pause, to take a breath and simply wait and see how things play out before you let your mind run a marathon of imagined scenarios. Wait, and you'll see that waiting and seeing was a lot more productive than wondering and worrying. Insert audible sigh of relief here. Good morning, older sibling. So this really kind of does lend more to if you're in a brand new relationship. Now, you're thinking, Shelley, this really is talking about people who are getting into relationships and to just, not jump to conclusions, not worry about the next day, but to just stay in this day. So how do we work self-love into this? Let me tell you, this is how you work self-love into this. By maintaining your self-love, by building it and strengthening it and giving it the compassion and the empathy that it needs when you're first starting on this self-love journey, you are strengthening your foundation so that when you are in something that's potentially beautiful, that's potentially amazing, you're not worried about tomorrow. You're not worried about the next day because you have enough love for yourself. So whatever it is that you're starting with somebody that you're hoping, maybe you really vibe with this person, right? Maybe you're hoping that it turns into something bigger, but you're not sure. When things don't work out, it hurts. And it can be really damaging. But have you ever noticed when you don't have self-love and a relationship ends, you always blame yourself. You always feel like you're the responsible one, like it's your fault, that you're the one doing this, that, or the other. I'm sorry about that in the background. I left my door open so that the kitty cats could walk in and out and the phone decides to ring. So anyways, sorry about that. Anyway, I know I gotta explain all the sounds. Okay, this is not a big production. This is not a fancy production. It's just me on a live. But expect the unexpected, right? So again, when we have a firm, in my perspective, when we have a very stable, very solid foundation of self-love, we're not worried about the other shoe dropping. We're not worried about what's going to happen tomorrow. Well, how many fights am I going to get into with this person? Is it going to be the one? Is this the one? Is it going to last? Is it going to do? No, you're going to enjoy each moment because you realize, hey, I deserve this. No matter how long it lasts, whether it's forever or for a few moments, I'm going to enjoy this because this is something that has traipsed into my life, has landed in my lap and said, hey, you know what? Let's give this a go and see what happens. And I say that that's from my perspective because when I was in my relationships before, I didn't have this self-love. And for a very long time, I think the reason I don't think I consciously chose to be single for so long, but I think I subconsciously did because I knew that I'm a great self-sabotager. Every time things start to go well, I start to overthink everything. I start to let my mind wander into what if this, what if that, what if this, what if that. And that also goes to the last person I was with. When we broke up, there were a lot of different reasons. I feel bad because they didn't see it coming. They should have, because the treatment I was receiving on my end, and that may have been the planting of the self-love seed, saying, hey, you know what? I give 100%, you give about half of that. And I think for anything to work on any level, whether it's a relationship, a business partnership, work, whatever you do in life, if you're not giving 100%, you are probably not going to get 100% back. And if you do, you're very lucky. And after a while, I got tired. I got tired of trying to create this scenario that was happening in my mind and manifest it into real life, because I was just kind of ignored a lot. And that's okay, because I'm an only child. I know how to entertain myself. But there were just a lot of factors. I mean, everybody has their guilt in anything. I should have spoke up more. When I did try to speak up, I was shot down a lot. So I stopped speaking up, and I grew bitter, and I grew sad, and I would cry a lot, because it's like, I felt like a third wheel in my own relationship. So, but I didn't have the self-love, so I stayed in it for a long time. And of course, they didn't have a lot of self-love, because their first thought, because they were always worried I was going to leave them for somebody else. They were always worried that because what somebody in their life who was very important to them did to somebody else in their life, I mean, I'll just say it, I'm not naming names here, but, the father cheated on the mother. And he was always worried I was going to do that. So when I broke up with him and I told him I was moving out, it was like, oh, he didn't even ask me. He just immediately thought I left him for someone else. And I didn't. In fact, he's dated more than I have in this last, because for a long time we had a mutual friend that I still talk to, and it's just like, no. And I told her the truth, and I don't know if she ever told him, but that's where our mind goes when we can manifest bad things. He was always worried about that, and eventually he pushed me farther and farther away because of his own fear. And I've done that to people in my own life. Now, I'm not putting him down, because we all navigate things differently. But that's why we're doing the self-love thing, because I don't want people to be in something that has the potential to be so amazing and push people away because they're scared, because they're worried. It's about taking the risks, it's about taking the chances. And I feel like I'm finally in a position in my life where I'm capable of taking those chances now. I almost said willing, but it's like we're always willing to do something. But the question is, are we capable of it? Are we capable of, not letting our minds wander and not letting our brains go in 10,000 directions, and come up with scenarios that don't exist, that we make up in our mind? And the only reason I really kind of opened up about that last relationship and how things ended up going sideways, and this person thinking that I cheated on them, was exactly that. That was always in the back of their mind. And, I couldn't change that. No matter how many times they said I would never do that. That's what they thought. That's what they thought. And I can't help that. I mean, it doesn't make me look good on the other side, but, at the time, I used to care what other people thought, and I don't anymore. It was my motivation was very self-preservation, and I had a lot of work to do on myself as well. And I'm in years and years of work to do on myself, because I wasted the first half of that time just thinking I was okay and, being a victim and just, oh, this, that, and the other. And then I started healing all my stuff because all this other stuff started coming up when you're feeling all this sadness and this pain and all that. So this is a great card to have. So I'm going to read it one more time and then we're going to get to self-love lesson number 3. Thoughts love to wander into assumptions and race ahead to the future. But what if you told them to cool their jets and chill a sec? Today you get to put your mental chatter on pause to take a breath and simply wait and see how things play out before you let your mind run a marathon of imagined scenarios. Wait and you'll see that waiting and seeing was a lot more productive than wondering and worrying. So that is a wonderful, wonderful card. It really is. It's a great card because it's about taking each day as it comes. Live in the moment. It's about going with the flow. Okay? So, lesson number 3. What good habit do you want to begin this month? What good habit do you want to begin this month? Well, we're already through the middle of this month, but I suspect because this is the 30 days of self-love that they're, and this is lesson number 3, it's talking about what do you want to learn over the next 30 days. So, but I changed it to lessons again, simply based on the fact that we're not doing consecutive days. It's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. So what good habit do you want to begin this month? What good habit do you want to begin this month? I have to tell you, again, when I first started this, it was like, I want to get healthy. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to all these different things. I'm gonna exercise 50 gazillion hours a day. I'm gonna eat a salad every moment of my life. I like salads. I'll be honest with you, I do. Especially a good spinach salad. Oh my God, I could go on forever. Okay, it's not just about the savory foods. It's also about the stuff that makes your body feel good. But here's the thing: for people like me, it's not that easy. You can't just snap your fingers and go, "Oh, I'm going to change that. Girl, let's do this." Some people can do it. Other people cannot. I am a recovering emotional eater. I am a recovering food addict, basically. I love food. Like a foodie type of food person. And, but there's nothing wrong with that. The majority of foodies you see out there are actually kind of tiny. They throw a salad in there every so often. But what good habit I want to begin this month. This is why I said, I want people to take these lessons and journal them. Go deeper than your first thought. Your first thought is, I want to get healthy. Or I'm going to start jogging, an hour a day. Or I'm going to start doing this, that, and the other. But what is causing that? What is deeper? So for me, what good habit do you want to begin this month? I want to embrace self-love. Because when we start to feel good about ourselves, that's when changes happen. That's when we digest those undigested emotions that we just shove down, right? And sometimes that can turn into a physical representation of your own pain, of your own lack of self-love, your own lack of self-worth and self-respect. Because you don't care. And when you don't care, you're basically manifesting that in your life. You're showing yourself, hey, I don't care about you. I'm just, whatever. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to eat what I want. I'm going to be who I want. I'm going to, And in a slow way, it might just be some subconscious way of hurting ourselves. That's why, for me, for lesson number 3 of self-love, what good habit do you want to begin this month? I want complete self-love. Every time I have a negative thought, I want to replace it with a positive one. Every time I try to shame myself about something I might be eating at the moment, I want to change that and say, nope, you know what? I'm just eating. There's no stigma on this food. Every time I want to be judgy about something, I'm going to say, nope, you know what? That person's doing their own thing. They're being their own person. Let them be. I don't want someone judging me, so why am I judging somebody else? I have to tell you, on Twitter, it's hard because there's a lot of things that you see that you just, people that call you names, and yet they're the ones that fall under these categories of what they're calling you. And you just sit there and you're like, oh, I really want to say something. I really want to, but I don't. Because I've chosen that my page, yeah, every so often I might retweet something, I might comment about something. But the majority of the pages that I have there, because I have two accounts, one for mental health and one just being my silly self that I've had for 13 years. I want to promote that positivity. I don't want to keep adding fuel to the fire, adding fuel to the anger. Because that's what social media is. That's why I keep my Facebook closed down to only people I know. Because I don't need that negativity. I get enough of it from my own people from time to time. Not that often. They know better. Because I don't tolerate it anymore. You do what you want on your page. I do what I want on mine. But that's one of the reasons my Facebook is not public. And that's one of the reasons why I don't just accept people willy-nilly. In fact, it kind of bothers me when people just try to friend me willy-nilly and I don't know them, but the people that suggest them, I trust that, they have good intentions. So, there's probably about 5 or 6 people that I don't know very well on my Facebook. And I watch it carefully because, I also don't want to get hacked, right? That's our main priority, is to not get hacked. But I do what I can to add my positivity to that doom scrolling that people might have, right? I mean, how do we fix our mental health, whether you have a dinged up mental health or not? We all have a mental health. We all have to sustain some kind of positivity and balance in our life. And I mean, they don't call it doom scrolling for no reason, because there are things that rile us up. There are things that sit there and go, oh, just want to make you punch your phone or something and just be like, what are they thinking? But that's where we're supposed to come in. That's where we're supposed to add that positivity, to add that light to that darkness. And it might sound simple and it might sound hokey to some people, but that's what self-love is. It's having that self-control to not lose your shit when you disagree with something. There's always going to be somebody out there who disagrees. There's always going to be some kind of weird political shit going on. There's always going to be some kind of weird religious stuff going on. The people trying to pound you with their beliefs and not listen to both sides. That's my favorite. Politically, I'm in the center. I'm just going to come out and say that. Politically, I am in the center. And watching everybody fight on either side, it's exhausting. Because I know people on either side that are very centered. I mean, they have their foot in their parties, but I don't have a party. I literally am registered as it says, well, they keep changing. When I first started, it was non-partisan party. Now it's non-political party, which I think actually makes more sense. Non-political party. I'm just out there. But I have a lot of friends that are on both sides that have their foot in the center and one in their party. And they see what's going on either side. They're just like, whoa, how do we change this? It's about speaking up. And how do we speak up? When we have self-love. When we treat ourselves with that respect and we know our worth. And self-love is not an easy road. If you have struggled with self-love, it is not an easy road. And just a reminder for anybody that might be new, self-love is not a narcissistic characteristic. It is a desirable characteristic. It is, I saw a quote today. I can't remember who it was from, but it said, I was going to save it until Monday, but I'm going to share it now. It says, loving yourself is not about vanity. It's about your sanity. And that's the truth. Loving yourself is not about vanity. It's about your sanity. And that makes perfect sense to me. And if it doesn't make sense to you, you're probably early on in your self-love thing where people are saying, oh, self-loving yourself. And people can make it, well, I want dirty. I don't think it's dirty when you self-love. But people will joke about it. They'll giggle about it. They'll say stupid things, that are meant to hurt you because they probably don't have their own self-love. They don't understand it. It's easier for them to judge everyone around them than it is to actually look at themselves in the mirror and say, do I really love myself? Or am I just trying to make myself feel better by putting other people down? And I think we've all been there, to be honest with you. I think we've all been there. You know, I'm sorry. Um, I'm laughing because today just seems to be the noisiest freaking day on this damn live. Um, Either that or someone just saying, "Hey, you hit the nail on the head," because someone's literally hammering outside right now. But I think, what good habit do you want to begin this month? Go deeper than just, I want to lose weight, or I want to exercise more, or I want to eat healthier, or I want to do this, that, and the other, or, I want to go buy new clothes. Try to go beyond that. Go deeper. Why do you want to lose weight? Do you want to lose weight for yourself to get healthier? Or do you want to lose weight because you think nobody likes you at the weight that you're at? Why do you want to why do you want to exercise more? Is it because you feel like society is telling you you have to? Or is it because you want to, genuinely get healthier? So I have to tell you, I've done some exercising. I've just kind of, like I said yesterday, I just kind of traipse around my room dancing and doing this and that and the other. And it's just because I listen to music at night. It just so happens that it's really good exercise. But I also stopped stigmatizing everything I ate. And I have to tell you, I've lost 7 pounds in 1 week. And I'm not saying that would be everybody's result. But here's the reason why. Because I stopped worrying about everything. I stopped throwing myself under the bus. I stopped being mean to myself. When I was mean to myself, I would catch myself. If I didn't catch myself, my older sibling would catch me. Because, as you know, she's my roommate. But she would catch me and be like, "Hey, you better take that back." And because she catches it sometimes, it makes me a little more hyper-focused to catch it myself. I've been journaling a lot more, not just superficial journaling. I have been being honest about my journaling. And so for the next month, what habit I want to begin this month, this good habit, is to really truly embrace these lessons of self-love. For those that haven't been on before, or who might just be joining us for the first time, I say us because it's a live, or even those who might be watching on the replay. This is my 3rd time doing these 30 days of self-love. And I have to tell you, we're only on lesson 3, but I have already gotten more out of this than I did the first 2 times. Because I'm not going with my top answer, the one that literally comes off the top of my head. I'm going deeper now. I'm reaching underneath and peeling back the layers and saying, why is this my first answer? See, the first 2 times I did this, the 30 days, my answer was, what habit do you want to begin this month? I want to lose weight and exercise more. Or I want to eat better. And it wasn't for me. It was because I thought no one's going to love me or like me or even want to give me the time of day at the size I'm at. Because I'm a plus size girl. And I started thinking, you know what? I know I need to get healthy from my heart. My heart's running great, want to keep it running great, right? Want to make sure that this scar has not only a purpose. I've carried this scar for over 40 years. Okay, I had surgery when I was 3 years old. And it was life and death surgery because they wanted to wait till I was 5 because they thought I was too young. Okay, my surgery was in the 70s. So, not the technology we have nowadays. Still good technology, better than the 60s and the 50s, but still not the technology we have today, where the kind of heart surgery I have is just like that. I mean, in some cases, they can even do it in the womb. But I have a patch on my heart, and I have a valve that's reconstructed. And I want to make sure that I give them the respect and honor it the way it has helped keep me alive. So, that's my new reason for wanting to be healthy. But I know that for someone like me who does have a dinged up mental health, and even if you don't have a dinged up mental health, maybe you just struggle with emotional eating. Like I said, I'm a recovering emotional eater. Yeah, I fall off the wagon. I mean, last week, if there was a chip that we were given, a chip, right? I mean, I'm sure it's probably something other than a chip if you in Overeaters Anonymous, but if I were given, I'd be on day 1. I was on day 1 for about 6 days last week or the week before. Until finally I said, okay. And the reason I think I kept falling off that wagon was because, oh, that's so funny. My screensaver just literally came on and says, fall in love with taking care of your body. Anyway, I think the reason I kept falling off that wagon was because I kept stigmatizing myself. And I kept, doing what I grew up learning how to do. When I would eat bad, or when my mom was an emotional eater. I don't know if she ever realized that she was or not, but she was. And, what we say, people hear, including the kids around us. So when we sit there and we say, oh God, I wish I hadn't eaten that. It was so good. And I didn't, I was out with the people today and we were having a great time and I just thought I'm going to eat it today. But oh, I weighed myself. Well, you know what? If you go out and have a big meal, I wouldn't weigh yourself for like 2 days, okay? Because your body has to digest all that. If you're going to weigh yourself that night or the next day, you're just in for a bad reading, okay? And I've learned that the hard way. But what I've also learned is that it starts in here. Okay? My heart and my soul know exactly what I need. It's about getting this little one on board. The little noodle inside of my head. Because until I do that, until I truly can embrace that self-love, it's going to keep telling me all these bad things. It's about reconditioning the way we think. It's about going beyond other people's fears and limitations. I read that. It's a quote I read every morning. Today I go beyond other people's fears and limitations. Today I go beyond other people's fears and limitations. I'm going to suggest this because sometimes self-love can keep us, a lack of self-love can keep us from some pretty great people. How many times have you been like, oh, yeah, you know what? They're really sweet. But they don't look like the kind of person I think I should be with. And you might be missing out on something great. I mean, it was hard. It's been a struggle. I would leave California and I would see girls my size with, what I think people would consider pretty good looking guys. And I was just like, I live in a place where this is your calling card. It's what people see first. And sometimes they see this and they don't want to get to know the person in here. And I'm going to tell you something right now. If that's what you're judging me by, you're going to miss a lot. Because I'm a pretty fucking amazing human being. And that is not vanity. That's just a fact. And those aren't my words. Those are baby siblings' words. Take out the F word. And those are older siblings' words. They're the words of some of my friends. They're the words of some of my other cousins. They're the words of people that have known me for a long time when I was thin and absolutely 100% hated every part of myself and who I am now. I had a friend the other day that, or a couple months ago, there was a picture I took and she's like, I love this picture of you because your smile touches your eyes. And she's like, I haven't seen that in a long time. Because I was struggling for a long time. And I think the biggest part that I was struggling with was my self-love. How can I expect someone else to love me if I can't even love myself? And I think that's the question we all need to ask ourselves. How can we expect other people to love us if you're single? If you're in a relationship, but you're constantly trying to sabotage it, this person who is with you loves you. Okay? Whoever you are out there that needs to hear this. This person that is with you loves you. They're with you and they try to build you up and they do all these things because they want you to see you. I have a very, very dear friend who is in a pretty new relationship. Well, I say pretty new, but they've been in a relationship for about a year. And when they first started, there was a lot of insecurities on her part. A lot. And if they're watching later, I hope you don't mind me sharing your story. That's why I'm not naming names and trying to make it very vague. But the reason I'm using it is because this person is still dating and is still very much, the two of them are so in love, and you can see it in their pictures that their smiles are just, you can feel the warmth, the sunshine, and the love coming off of these pictures. I mean, it's just like, whew, it's like a Reiki feeling coming at you. But when they first started, there was a lot of insecurity on my friend's part. And they're also like a younger sibling to me, so I get a little overprotective. But this person that they're with now, hands down, is so much more kind and loving to my friend than the person they were married to before. And they're still trying to navigate that. Like, it feels like the other day they told me, I feel like I'm in a fairy tale. And that's what love should feel like. Yeah, it's not, every day isn't going to be okay. They had an argument at one point, but the argument was, you should have told me this was how you're feeling, so I can, and what this person said to my friend was, so I can help you navigate it. You don't have to hide from me. But they did that because that's what their previous relationship was like. Self-love will help you leave the baggage in the past. Okay? Self-love is going to help you see that even when things don't work out, it's okay. That something better is coming along. Or maybe not better, but something that's meant for you is coming along. Look at previous relationships as lessons. I used to be mad at all the people I dated because a lot of them hurt me pretty bad. And we always talk about our part, and I'm sure that my not speaking up or my staying in these toxic relationships were my fault. But I didn't cheat on me. Some of them did. And it hurt. But I look at it as lessons, as maybe their self-love was struggling for a while. And my self-love was because I stayed in these things. And I'm not judging. I'm not judging, okay? People are going to make the decisions they're going to make. It's not for me to judge. You have to heal yourself. You have to make the decisions that are best for you in your life. And you have to learn your own lessons. We can't fix anybody, but we can plant seeds. And that's what this whole lessons of self-love is about. It's about planting these seeds so that we can grow this beautiful lotus plant. Right? We were talking about that. How the lotus kind of starts its journey in the mud, in the muck of everything. And then it comes up through all that darkness and all that dirt and grime and mucky stuff and all that mud, and poof, it blossoms into this beautiful plant. And that's what the whole point of this is. It's about growing this thing inside the darkness that sits inside of us and allowing it to break free and become this beautiful, beautiful thing. So whatever habit you want to begin this month, take your first initial thought and peel back the layers. Go a little deeper. Why are you choosing this particular thing? Is it because, we'll use health as an example, since that's what the first two times was what I wanted. And I'll be honest with you, my answer today kind of surprises me, because when I try not to look at these ahead of time. I mean, yes, I wrote them all down, but I remember when I initially wrote this down, my memory came back to me and says, I want to lose weight. But as I started laying the foundations of love last week, foundations of self-love last week, all these different things started clicking in my head. And I thought, that was the superficial answer I gave the first two times. Let's go a little deeper. Let's understand. So see, I'm learning along with you guys. I don't know what the next lessons are. Like I said, I wrote them down and I purposely did not go back over them because I want this to be as organic for all of us as it was, trying to be the first time that I did these. And I realized that I can't accomplish any of these other other goals that I want to do. I wouldn't say real goals, but these other goals, the popular, the most picked goals. Because if I don't have self-love in my life, I can't move forward in other directions. I can't find the respect for myself or my heart to do the things I want to do. If you want to lose weight for yourself. Don't lose it for other people. It's for you, not for anybody else. If it's because you want to breathe better, you want to feel better, you want to tie your shoes without having to hold your breath, seriously, not that fun. I admit, when I stepped on the scale on Monday and I saw I had lost weight, I was just like, I was so excited. But then I emotionally ate because I self-sabotaged. However, I will say this, I caught myself. And I thought, no, this is what I always do. And I don't want to be afraid anymore. I didn't put on this weight just because of emotional eating. I put on this weight because it was a wall. It was a protection for myself, because we are so stigmatized and so conditioned and so controlled to think that people who are heavier are not desirable. And I'm here to end that fucking stigma, because I'm tired of people thinking that shit. I am. I'm done. I can't stop people from judging other people. I fucking judge other people. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, come on, look at my mouth. I mean, it just comes right, it just spews out like weird loving venom. But, but I want to end that stigma, because I think there's a lot of people that miss out on a lot of things. You know, people can lose weight. And sometimes when you find somebody and they start to feel good about themselves and you help them start to feel good about themselves, it may just happen. It may just happen on its own, because they're not self-sabotaging themselves anymore. Some people it is genetic, believe it or not. Some people it is medical. You know, there are certain medical conditions women go through that actually can cause weight gain. Part of my weight gain isn't just because of my eating. It's also because I have an awkward thyroid. But I couldn't get the hyper one. I had to get the hypo one, which means that, poof, I got to work harder. But I also believe 100% it starts in here. Because remember what I said a long time ago in other perspectives. What you say is what you hear. It's what your brain processes, and it's what you're going to see. If you've ever heard of body dysmorphia, you could see somebody. When I was skinny, I thought I was fat. Literally. I did not see the skinny person in the mirror that everybody else saw. In fact, I looked back on my senior pictures this year, and one of them was like a body shot from like my it was pretty much my whole torso, and I was like, shit, I was skinny back then. But I didn't see it then. I always saw somebody who was about 30 or 40 pounds heavier, because I had body dysmorphia, because I hated my body, because of my trauma. My trauma made me hate who I was. And I don't want to be that person anymore. I don't want to look in the mirror and hate myself every time I see myself, no matter what size I am, thick or thin. And I don't want that for anybody else either. That's why we do the self-love. That's why I'm doing these. I'm not sitting here trying to lecture you. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you this is how you should think and this is how you should believe. I'm trying to plant that seed for you so that you can grow it. Because like I said, I can't fix you. But I can help guide you. I can give you the roadmap. I can give you my roadmap. Maybe not my roadmap, because my roadmap had a lot of detours with a lot of self-sabotaging. So I can give you I can lay a roadmap down for you, and you can create your own journey. And then I can show you mine, and all the squiggles and the little doodles and the circles and the U-turns and the 360s, because, you know, I couldn't walk a straight line. And I think back about how much time, I'm getting emotional. I think back about how much time I considered that I may have wasted trying to get to where I'm at now. You know, I've just recently been unshy about my age. I'm closing in on 50. Okay, I mean, it's creeping up pretty fast. And I've always hesitated to say that because, you know, you think when you hit a certain age, people aren't going to love you then either. But I don't think I care anymore. I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, we all want to be a part of something special and something spectacular. See, I'm getting emotional. But I spent so many years not loving myself and being in relationships that just hurt me and broke me even more, that I will not sacrifice who I am so someone else will love me. I won't. I won't do it anymore. You get who you get. And if you're lucky enough to be the one that gets me, yeah, I said that, then I will do everything I can to show you that I care, that I'm in this, for as long as this other person is willing to go the distance. And I think the reason I'm getting emotional is because I'm finally seeing all the things that people used to tell me. When I broke up with my last boyfriend, which was very unusual for me because I usually was not the one to walk away. I had a lot of friends tell me, whoever gets you is going to be the luckiest person in the world. And I never believed them, because I always thought there was something wrong with me. I have another friend whose marriage did not work out, and they took so much of the blame. And over time, just working with them, they flipped the percentage of fault that they thought they had in it, because they started to see, wait, I'm a good person. I gave everything I had to this, but this other person was just so damaged that self-sabotage was just always going to be on the plate. And we can make those choices for ourselves. Don't sacrifice yourself just for the sake of being with somebody, because you might miss the one. You might miss that perfect person that's meant for you, who will see you for who you are. My friend that's in the relationship I talked about, she's starting to see her worth. She's starting to see this beautiful person that I've seen her to always be. And she's starting to really recognize her worth. You know, I mean, she's met I said she, sorry. My friend met their partner's parents, and it went spectacular. They're going to meet the grandma next, and nerves, of course, but still spectacular. And I think part of me gets emotional over that, because I see their growth. I see their growth, and it's so beautiful to watch. It really is. And excuse the getting emotional, but I think when I get emotional like that, I think it's my body telling me that see, 9:12, so I know that it's right on track. I think myself getting emotional like that is because, like I said, I'm learning along with all of you. This is the most honest I've been in this self-love journey and with these lessons. And I think it really kind of hit my heart that I don't want to sacrifice who I am anymore for somebody else. You know, I can tell you, people don't want to be alone because they think it's scary, they think it's lonely. I'm grateful because I have a wonderful roommate in my older sibling. She's actually my best friend. I've known her for over 20 years, but we're both only children, so we just kind of adopted each other as siblings. And I've been very lucky to have had that. But I've also been lucky that it's not just a normal roommate relationship. She is a true older sister to me. And since my mom's passed away, she's kind of like a pseudo mom in a way too. You know, she listens. She shares. And she reminds me when I'm being mean to myself, when I'm saying bad things about myself, because sometimes it just slips out and I don't even realize it. It's like, excuse me, what'd you just say? You might want to take that back. And we kind of do that for each other. It's like, So we're helping each other grow. And I think that when, I'm not going to say if, but when I end up in a relationship again, a big part of the success of that relationship will be because of her. Because she has taught me how to trust. She has taught me how to believe that good things are possible for anyone and everyone. And that's what we need to hold on to. So again, whatever good habit you want to begin this month, take your initial thought, if that's the one that keeps popping up, take your journal or type it on your computer and really dig deeper into why. Ask yourself why. Okay, that's the one question. So the question is, what good habit do you want to begin this month? The second question is, why? Why is that your choice? And keep digging until you really feel and resonate with your answer. I don't want the 30 lessons of self-love to be superficial. It might be for some people, and that's okay. But I don't want it to be superficial in the sense that you just put down, oh, I want to lose weight. Why do you want to lose weight? You know, why do you want to exercise? Why do you want to eat healthy? Why do you want to, take this class? Why do you want to go back to school? Why do you want to love yourself more? I want to love myself more because I want to feel better about myself. Because I know the more I feel better about myself, the less I'm going to self-sabotage and self-destruct when I'm with other people, whether it's somebody I meet along the way, family, friends, whatever. I want to know that when I walk in a room, no matter who's in there, whether I know them or not, that I feel worthy of being seen. Because I think that's what everybody deserves. Everybody deserves to be seen. Not judged, seen. You know, when people walk in the room, it doesn't matter what size you are, thick or thin. If you have a wonderful personality, you are going to sparkle. And you're going to light up that freaking place. And people are going to migrate to you because they like your energy. They're not going to know why. Sometimes like a moth to a flame, right? They don't know why. They just like the bright light that is coming from you. And that's what I want to do. I want to emit this beautiful light for everyone. And I want people to bask in it and take something from it, to plant their own seeds so that when they walk into a room, they light it up. That they feel worthy of who they are, that they love themselves enough that nobody's bad judgment will hurt them. I mean, yeah, there's always going to be something that might hurt us because, that's just life. That's reality. But when we have self-love, it stings a lot less because we remind ourselves, hey, you know what? It's okay. We take our time, we grieve, we move forward. And grieving isn't just about people dying. It's about things that we lose in our life, things that change. We can grieve change. I grieve change a lot because change is hard for me. But I still manage. And I still make it through. And guess what? Even after some of the big changes in my life that have happened, I'm still breathing. Guess what? The next day happened. The world didn't end. The world did not end. All right. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Remember, ask the question, then ask why, and answer honestly. But I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Please take care of yourselves. Please practice your self-love. Okay. Go back over the first 2 lessons because they will lead to the third one. These all kind of lead to the next one. That's why I did them in order because they add and they add and they add. They are helping you to build the house now. Last week we laid the foundation. Now we're building this house, your house of self-love that you will live in, that will store your heart and protect it and keep it safe while giving it the best freaking view that it can possibly have. Giving it the freedom to enjoy itself, to enjoy life. Okay, so I'll see everybody back here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Facebook Live, it's under Shelley Marie Lucas. All the lives are public. Anybody can pop on and watch. Or you can watch the replay on YouTube under the Aloha Perspective with Shelley Marie Lucas. If you follow me on Twitter under GoalieFan1973 or Shellbell's Quest, which is my mental health one, I post them there as well as a short TikTok on Instagram and Twitter. That's kind of the short version of this. Okay, it's just kind of like ask the question, give them the Cliff Note version. All right. So again, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Again, please take care of yourselves. Tomorrow is Oracle Friday, so we'll be back Monday with lesson 4 of self-love. All right. Have a great day, everybody, and thank you so much for watching.